Hi everybody, welcome back to the Frontnut Sewing Machines YouTube channel. I'm Lucy, the shop manager here, and we are back in the shop taking a quick look today at the Janome 5060 QDC. So this is a fairly new addition to the Janome range, and it's for the money. It's coming in with loads of lovely accessories to really aid quilting mainly, hence the QDC bit. Good range of stitches. So let's just go through kind of what it actually comes with, what this quilting bonus pack really includes. So we've got our standard feet and accessories, so everything that you need, like your spool caps and seam rippers and everything, as well as the standard feet, so the satin stitch foot, the overlocking foot, blind hem foot and zipper foot. There is the buttonhole foot as well, which is normally hiding in the front. There it is. So that's your standard selection, but what we're also getting with the machine is this quilting attachment set. So in here we've got a walking foot, open toe satin stitch, 1/4 inch with guide, and the free motion quilting foot, as well as a cloth guide for actually attaching it, screwing onto the machine, and a quilting guide that can go onto your walking foot. So that's what you're getting with it, as well as the table. So an independent table that has got 4 separate legs, and to actually pop that on the machine, it's really easy. So if we remove the accessory tray where the buttonhole foot was hiding, it just pulls away from the machine there. And then this literally slides on. Let's move those accessories forward. So the legs flip out and it's then on. There we go. So that increases our working area by quite a lot, and with the aid, if you're doing free motion, especially free motion quilting or straight line quilting with the walking foot, perfect working area. So we'll pop the machine on. So we've got a fairly simple setup here. So this is really similar to some of the screens, very similar to a lot of the other Janome machines in the way that it actually operates. So it's quite easy to get used to if this is a machine, something you've been thinking about upgrading from another Janome or something like that. We've got the addition of the thread cutter as well on this model, which makes it, even more geared towards quilting, and as well as loads of other sewing too. But that's really the focus on here, I suppose. But you can use it for anything. Operation wise, really easy to thread up. So if we've got bobbin on there already, how very prepared. Just show you how to wind on the bobbin. So I'm going to pop on the horizontal spool holder and the correct size thread cap for that thread, and we're going to follow the dotted line as it's denoted here for doing the bobbin. So that's just going to the metal part, the tensioner there, and then wrap it around a few times just to get started, and then you've got a little trimmer underneath to break it off. Pull the bobbin over, and then it knows that we've got the bobbin winder on, so we just press our foot control. We'll just wind on a little bit to get us going. You can also, if you did prefer to operate the machine without the foot control, there is also the start-stop button, but in order to actually make that work, you have to remove the foot pedal. So once that is not highlighted any longer, you can also use the start-stop button to start the machine, actual sewing or doing the bobbin, whichever you prefer. So pull that away, lift up the bobbin, and we can use the trimmer that's built into the bottom of the bobbin winder, and then keeping the bobbin exactly as it came off of there, like not turning it around in any way, drop it into the top of the machine with your thread coming off to the left, and then slip it underneath that initial metal guide and pull it around. You'll feel that there's now tension on the bobbin, and that's exactly what we need. And trim it off at number 2. You can then replace your bobbin cover. I'm just going to pop the foot control back in for ease of use. There we are. And then we can thread the top of the machine. So behind that number 1 first, down to 2, and a U shape around 3. Slip it into the take-up link at number 4, and down to number 5. We do have a needle threader on here as well, so if we get our thread guide right at the top of the needle, and our needle should be in the highest position. If you're in any doubt, then you can use the needle up and down button here to make sure that your needle is up all the way. Bring the needle threader down. I'm also going to just lower the foot there to give us a bit more space to show you. Because then the thread goes underneath that arm there, and then following the exact direction of that arrow, and it slots in underneath this other plastic part to put it into a tiny hook. And then when you bring that lever up, you see we are given a loop. So you do need to let go of the thread to give it that slack in order to let the loop appear, and then you just pull that through. You've got an independent thread cutter at the side also, just so your tails aren't too long. You can raise that up, slide it underneath the foot, and because we've got our bobbin, the quickset bobbin there, we don't have to bring up the bobbin thread. If you do want to, then you can, just by using the needle up and down button, but otherwise it is actually ready to sew. So its default starting position is the stitch 00, which is just our straight stitch with a centre needle position. So I've got full control of the speed on my foot control, so I can go very slowly if I want to. But I can use this as a speed limiter, so that was set kind of to the highest speed. So if I did set it to the slowest speed there, it means I would actually only, no matter how hard I push on the foot control, it'll only go that very easy slow speed. So it's great for being very precise. So if I want to use the thread cutter, I just literally press that, and that's trimmed the threads for us. Now you won't see the bottom thread because it has just trimmed it right underneath, so it's very close, but it is there, and that'll be ready to start stitching again. And on the back we've just got 2 little threads there. Obviously you can use that after using the reverse to secure a seam or a row of stitching, or we do have the target button as well, which is a tying off function, which can be used on straight stitch that will just stitch on the spot, and also on any of these decorative stitches as a pattern end function. So if you were to choose a decorative stitch and how to manipulate the stitches, we literally use whatever the little highlights underneath. That's the item that we're then manipulating. So stitch number, or stitch width, or stitch length. So if we go to the stitch number and we select, I don't know, something like 40, that's quite a nice little stitch. So if we actually, to make that a quicker process, if you go over again to the left so that just that one is highlighted, I can then select the 4, and then I can also then select from there, which does make it a bit quicker to navigate around the stitches instead of having to press it 40 odd times to get the stitch you want. It's also got a foot recommendation in the top here, so you'll see that does change with the different stitches. So 39 is saying foot A, which is the standard zigzag foot, and then if we go to 41, it's actually saying to change to foot F, which is your satin stitch foot, which is included in the pack. So let's just pop that one on. So we squeeze in the trigger at the back, take away foot A, and pop on foot F. I find this the easiest way to do, is to kind of line up the bar, which is the bit that's going to be clipping onto the shank here with the machine, and then lower the foot down and it should clip it on. Lovely. Just going to put the thread through the middle again. And then we're ready. I'll just increase the speed to something more medium. You can see here it's increased the stitch width and length automatically for us, or increased or decreased. It's set them up for us for this particular stitch, so we're going to get it exactly as pictured. And if I want to finish at the end of one of this complete pattern, use this pattern end button, and now that will stop and tie it off. And then if I just press the scissors, that will also trim it. So no guesswork, it's finished at the end of its complete pattern. So it's really easy to control. And with the correct foot on, you should get the perfect results. So do look for that function there. So that's, you know, the kind of basics of the machine. Obviously, to manipulate that stitch, you just tab over in order to increase or decrease the width or the length, and you can control those to do whatever you like. In straight stitch, those will also control your needle position. So if we were to go back to 0, 0, 0, you see the stitch width is set at 3.5 because this has got a 7mm as the maximum stitch width, and 3.5 is obviously half of 7, so that means it's in the middle. If we were to actually tab over and increase or decrease that, we can see we've got multiple needle positions. So this won't increase the width of the stitch, it's still going to be straight, but it's going to be in wherever position you need it to be. So you've got complete control with your needle positions. So that's really what makes this machine a really great all-rounder. You could do any kind of sewing on here, but with the added bonus of the kind of quilting table and the pack, it's a really good deal. So if you'd like to come and see it, do pop in, and we look forward to giving you a demo. If you've got any other questions about the machine, ask in the comments and we'll do our best to answer you. If you've liked this video, then give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and we hope to see you again soon. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.